Daniel Hill.
Did you know the Coachella Valley is only getting hotter? This is real troubling, living in a place that already sees extreme heat. What's causing this climate change is the greenhouse effect, which is pictured here. The greenhouse effect is a process that occurs when gases in the Earth's atmosphere trap the sun's heat. Gases like CO2 trap heat like glass does in a greenhouse. Now, according to California's 4th annual climate change assessment, published August 27, 2018, by numerous environmental scientists, the Coachella Valley's daily average temperatures will increase 8 to 14 degrees Fahrenheit before the end of this century. This is important to me because as a father, I'm worried about the state of the earth we're leaving for future generations. Climate change is a global crisis that many people just don't fully understand. And if we continue to ignore this, it could have devastating effects on the earth. So today we're going to talk about climate change in the Coachella Valley. First, going over the desert's habitat and what it's facing. Second, looking at projected weather forecasts in the Coachella Valley. And third, looking at the future economic state of the Coachella Valley due to climate change. So to begin, let me tell you about the future habitat of the Coachella Valley. Climate change is posing a great threat to the desert's ecosystem. With the rising temperatures of climate change, one effect is this extreme drought. This is going to lead to the eventual deaths of desert plants, trees, shrubs, and other organisms with reserves that can withstand drought, just not the extreme drought that they potentially will be facing. Desert tortoises and lizards, which have thrived in the desert's ecosystem, are now starting to slowly decline in numbers. Warmer winters have caused pine bark beetles to multiply, destroying ponderosa and pinyon pines, and causing fuel for the next big forest fire. Joshua trees, an iconic symbol of our desert, are slowly dying out due to increased temperatures, stressing out the plant and making young seedlings rare. We are in uncharted territories. California's 4th annual climate change states that projected warming will take the region far past what is experienced previously. More research about crop and animal response to higher temperatures and ways to increase resiliency is greatly needed. So now that you have an understanding of what our desert's ecosystem is facing, we're going to look at weather forecasts that are projected for the next 100 years. The Coachella Valley is only getting hotter, and as we stated previously, daily average temperatures are due to rise 8 to 14 degrees before the end of the century. Now, Coachella Valley's hottest days can already top 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you add 14 degrees to that, that's 134 degrees. Now, when I go to my favorite restaurant and I order a medium rare steak, the internal temperature of that steak is 134 degrees, which is hot, and we can't be living in that. Now, according to California's 4th annual climate assessment, in a worst case scenario, we are going to face daily average highs of 96 degrees in the Coachella Valley and 103 degrees in Palm Springs. These are daily average highs, factoring in colder winter temperatures. Now, from 1981 to the year 2000, Palm Springs had 135 days a year with temperatures that reached 95 degrees Fahrenheit or above, and only 22 days, though, that reached 110 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Now, according to California's 4th annual climate change assessment, from year 2070 to 2100, we are projected to face 179 days that reach 95 degrees or above, and 95 days that are going to reach 110 degrees Fahrenheit or above. So if we look at that, that's 6 months of weather that's going to be 95 degrees Fahrenheit or above. And that's 3 months of temperatures that are going to reach 110 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Climate change scientists, and one of the authors of California's 4th climate change assessments, Neil Berg, says we are seeing temperatures that have exceeded some of these initial projections. It's been a real eye-opening year for me. So now that we've looked at the future climate for the next 100 years in the Coachella Valley, let's look at the economic impact that we're facing in the Coachella Valley due to climate change. Now, according to California's 4th climate change assessment, the Coachella Valley generates over 50,000 jobs and $6.4 billion annually. Now, with the rising temperatures, the region's tourism season is going to shorten. Climate models in California's fourth climate assessment predict the number of days with weather in the 70 to 85 degree threshold will range from a period of 5.5 months, which we're currently facing right now, to 4.5 months by 2050, and all the way to 3.5 months by year 2100. On top of the many jobs in jeopardy, a lot of people are at risk, including the desert's large homeless population and elderly population, not to mention the many outside workers in the desert, including myself currently. Lower income families will have to deal with much higher air conditioning bills, and some might not even be able to afford that, which could be devastating. So, in conclusion, we have gone over first, the future of our desert's ecosystem. Second, the projected weather forecast in the Coachella Valley for the next 100 years. And finally, the potential economic impact of climate change on the Coachella Valley. I hope you all have a little more insight on climate change and how it affects us on a personal, community, and a global level. You know, if we all look at ourselves and how we live, I'm sure there's some changes that we each could make to help save our planet. The choice is ours. Thank you.